Vladimir Vinitzki is an independent researcher specialized in the story of biological life and its meaning. Also studying ancient civilizations, Vinitzki is certain to hold evidences that Atlantis was not a legend, but he is convinced that Santorini Island in Greece is much more than the best candidate to have been the capital of the lost empire. Santorini was certainly also the location of an authentic event, which could become the most unusual archaeologic site ever discovered so far, the Garden of Eden. Many countries try to prove that they have been the cradle of civilization because, to popular belief, advanced civilization means a superior social system and being the result of human intelligence. Nothing could be further from the truth. Vinitzki says, as smart as they can be, humans could not just by themselves go from a simple settlement to the infrastructure of a civilization. They have been helped. First of all, we have to know the difference between a simple human society and a civilization. A simple society is a group of people, regardless the number, producing individually for their needs and directly from the natural environment, like mammals generally do. A civilization is a superorganism, which means a unit of individuals where division of labor is highly specialized, which will give to some of them the time to do research. With regard to the human being, a simple society is a wholesome system, whereas a civilization, even if it seems more efficient, will be very destructive and auto-destructive. Having lived for years without direct contact with the infrastructure of civilization and without motorized vehicles, helped Vinitzki to fully understand the social human evolution. A group of people already so busy to meet their daily needs do not have the time to do research in order to elaborate some technology to improve their lifestyle, unless someone else takes care the labor for them, like slaves, for example. The idea is not new, but if some people wish to force other individuals to do all the chores, it requires some technology already. For instance, weapons, to overpower the future slaves, but also the adequate material to prevent them to rebel or escape. And we are back to square one. What could give to ancient man the necessary time to think than to build weapons? Only Mother Nature could give the good start. It is obvious that mankind got help to be able to start a serious research, and coincidence has to be ruled out. Only very special circumstances, added to a very unique location, could create the first steps toward civilization, which led to our modern technology. The suite of actions that took place in the Garden of Eden, plus the landscape and the location of Santorini Island, hold together the indispensable ingredients to boot up the rise of a civilization prototype that will be forced to spread its influence in many parts of the world. Inspecting the earliest civilizations, Vinitzki got particularly interested by the Minoans, not only by their social structure, but especially for their incomparable geographic location. The Minoan headquarters were neither Europe nor Africa, neither Asia, neither the Americas, and yet an access by sea in all directions. In addition to this, because of the small size of the island, the early overpopulation was going to become the explosion of a wide and quick spread of their lifestyle. Vinitzki is convinced that the Minoan kingdom was the last era of Atlantis. In Plato's text, Atlantis is depicted with precision from its birth as far as its destruction, and containing two very distinct periods: the period before Noah's flood and the one before the volcanic eruption. Surprisingly, Plato's information not only links Atlantis to Santorini, but it also links Atlantis to the Garden of Eden. The intriguing detail that caught Vinitzki's attention about the lifestyle of the Minoans of Akrotiri are the household pipes with running water and their water closets. The pipes run in a twin system, indicating that the inhabitants likely used both hot and cold water supplies. These unprecedented facilities without electricity or generator were not possible at that time just because of human intelligence. In other words, if God did not put it here, they won't have it. Vinitzki is 100% convinced that the episode of the Garden of Eden truly occurred, and he is 99% certain that Eden was located above the Akrotiri site. The 4 streams of water in Eden were not rivers but mineral springs, one of them being a hot spring. It is for that reason that there were no fish in the Garden of Eden, as the chapter 2 of Genesis points it out. The 4 mineral springs of the Garden of Eden match perfectly with the water supply of the households of Akrotiri. The Bible never said that the creation of the Garden of Eden was about the first occurrence of the living beings on earth. Vinitzki says, this version of the biological story was coming from a misreading of the text. The 6 days of creation and the creation of the Garden of Eden are 2 different events which took place at 2 different eras and are separated by a huge gap of time. Eden was a mini-creation that took place during the Neolithic age. The precise description of the Garden of Eden mentioned in the beginning of the Bible is nothing other than a detailed map, which suggests that the author of the text wishes that the site of the Garden of Eden be found. Is it for testimony only, or a gift from heaven to Greece? If this archaeological site does exist, it would certainly help Greece in its actual economic crisis, on condition that the discovery be used properly. Vinitzki strongly encourages the people of Santorini to follow the main incoming water supplies of the plumbing system of the Akrotiri site and to dig the plain above the site. What could be expected to be discovered are the gates of entrance of the garden and possibly a line of poles that create a kind of magnetic field as protection all around the garden. There is also a tiny chance that the guardian cherubim left his sword embedded in the rocky soil. Besides this, it could exist in the surrounding area, a sepulchre that would have withstood the flood and containing the remains of Adam and Eve with their close family, as well as great valuables among them. Adam and Eve must have been highly respected, since it is their son Cain who built the city which was going to become the capital of Atlantis. In the near future, Vinitzki will be working on a video showing the series of actions that took place in the Garden of Eden and the evidence that this event changed the world. Then he will unveil the 2 periods of Atlantis. Vladimir Vinitzki is also the author of a book in 2 languages, which contains the irrefutable proof that our present Earth is neither the result of a creation nor of an evolution, but in a long process of recovery of an anterior planet identical to ours, which was destroyed by a supernova. The book also reveals the true cause that triggers natural disasters and what causes health depression in people. The book also gives the answer to the God question.